Hello, this is Debbie the Brown Fairy for Brown Fairy Creations. Today I'm going to show you the steps to embroidering this rainbow unicorn. As you can see, the one here on my left has the actual horn on it, and the one on my right is the, I guess pretty much a rainbow horse without the unicorn. So this is how it looks totally finished with the unicorn horn, and this is without. Okay, so the first thing that I need you to do is open your file and load your unicorn horn file. You should see two different files in there for your unicorn horn. You need to do this first because we're going to do our unicorn horn first. Okay? Okay, so after you have your file loaded, go back to your file and get your stitch chart. You can see it's super simple, super straightforward. So we're going to run through those super quick. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started with number 1. Okay, number 1 was the placement stitch that we just did. Now get your fabric or HTV. This is HTV glitter vinyl. And go ahead and sit that over your placement stitch. We'll cut around it and do number 3. Okay, so I've changed my thread to gold and I cut around Okay, and now I'm going to do the final stitch, satin stitch number 4. With the unicorn horn for now. All you need to do now is just cut it out around as close as you can get without popping your stitches. Okay, and I'll be back to show you how that looks, and then we'll start on the unicorn's head. Okay, so that is what you should have so far, just a little horn right here, and we're going to put that to the side because we won't need that till later on. Okay, so it probably don't look like anything right now, but you will see how it comes together towards the end. Show you how that looks. Okay, we did the placement stitch. Okay, I'll cut it and show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is how you should have it thus far. So this is the shape of her head, the right ear, the left ear. Okay, so we'll move on. I'll do the placement stitch and do another applique on the first strands of hair, and I'll come back and show you how that looks. Okay, I'll cut that out and show you how it's supposed to look. Okay, so this is what you should have thus far. And we'll go on to the next set of hair. And I will come back, the placement stitch, and then the applique, then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Okay, so we're moving on to the next step, which would be the strands of hair number 2. So I'm going to do the placement stitch and applique it, and then come back and show you what it looks like. I'll cut it out and show you. Okay, so this is what you should be seeing so far, or something close to it. So we have 2 strands of the hair done, the face, the ears. I know it's kind of hard to see because it's kind of all blending in, but we'll make it happen. So we'll move on to the 3rd strand of hair, the placement stitch, and the fabric, the applique. Okay, I'll cut it out and come back and show you what it's supposed to look like. Okay, so this is what you should see currently. We just did the 3rd strands of hair and then this back piece of hair. Okay, so we're just moving on, and we'll Okay, so this is what you should see thus far. We have our 3 rows of hair, our face, and this little back piece of hair. So we'll move on to the next step, and the placement stitch and the fabric, and I'll come back and show you how that's supposed to look. Okay, the applique. Okay, I'll cut it out and show you how it's supposed to look. Okay, this is what you should see thus far. And all we did was just add this little piece of hair right there. Okay, so we'll do our last piece of hair, our placement stitch, and our last piece of fabric right there. I'll do that and come back and show you what it looks like. So now I'm just adding the applique, the fabric over the placement stitch. Okay, really easy. So I'm gonna cut it out and show you how it's supposed to look. Okay, so this is what you should have thus far. We're done with the applique portion. We're gonna do our eyes and our nostrils. And then we'll go into our satin stitches covering our hair. Okay. Normally when I'm doing this, it's so many thread changes, but in this case, I just use white because white coordinated with this fabric. But now with the satin stitches and stuff, we will put a little bit of color in there. So let's get started. So the next thing that we will do is the eye, the blacks of the eye, the whites of the eye, and the nostrils. Okay. The eyelashes. This is the black of the eye. Okay, and now the white of the eye. Okay. forgot to say, normally I would have super solvy water soluble stabilizer on here, but since I'm on lockdown, I'm trying to conserve my product for when I just absolutely really need it. And so because this is just for instructional purposes, I don't have any on here. But if I was going to, I meant to tell you to do it when you first start the eye. Okay? So that's the ear, and now we're going to do the satin stitch for the first string of hair. Okay, our next step is the white around the left ear, and then the white around the face of the unicorn. Okay, so the left ear is done. This is where our unicorn horn is going to come into play. So now we're doing the placement stitch for the horn that we made earlier in the beginning. Okay. And now we're going to add our horn. I know. Don't panic. I know. Okay, so set your horn over your placement stitch. Okay. Okay, so this is what you should be seeing thus far with the horn. So we have our horn placed. And then our next step will cover that stitch with a satin stitch along with our second strand of hair. Okay, so we'll go on to the next step. Okay, let me take this off and show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is what you should have so far. As far as the horn, at the end I'm going to put some stitch richery on the back, and it's going to sit down like that and blend right in. So that's why I always use the color of my towel as my background, and if not, if I want it to stick up, in like 3D like it is now, then I'll put another piece of vinyl or fabric or whatever I want to show on the other side. But in this case, since it will be down like this, I don't care what's on the back, okay? Because I'm gonna put some stitch witchery back there, which really is like, you know, steaming seal or something like that, you know, just holds it down. Okay, so we're almost done. We'll be going to do our next piece of hair. Before Okay, now we're going to do the white around the ear. Okay, and technically that is it. I am going to put some stitch witchery under my horn, and I will come back and show you the final project. So here we go. It's all done. It's held on with stitch witchery. I appreciate the business, and thank you so much for watching my video. It's greatly appreciated. This is a new channel, so if you can subscribe and like my video, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.